Happy Monday! Hello, 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 everyone. And happy Women's Day and happy Monday. I am Omari Lee, your life coach, whether you know it or not. And I am so super duper 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 excited to be here, not just because it's my birthday month, but just because I get to share with you my journey. And I'm always excited on Mondays because I get to share with you, you get to share with me, and it's just, I love it. It's awesome. I am going to give you a couple of minutes just to come in. If you do happen to come in, please give me a shout out. Say hello. Hi, Marlon. Ooh, I cannot wait to brag on you today. Now, first one in the room, little big brother. Yay, go Marlon. um, if you are coming in, as you come in, just let me know who you are. Say hello. Give a shout out. If you are watching on the replay, also say hello, and let me know that you're here. How has your day been, Marlon? It's just you and me in here right now. Let me see. I need to be keeping my glasses on, but it gives such a glare and it just is such a distraction for me. I realized that, oh, good. Great, 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 great. Okay, are you ready for tonight? Do you know that I realized that I did not give homework yesterday? Last Monday, I didn't give homework. And so you guys are lucky. So I don't get to pick on anybody tonight. But it is Monday. Yes, is there anything you would like to discuss, Marlon, today? Anything that you need to get off of your chest that maybe perhaps I could help you with? Let's go ahead and get your free 30-minute consultation right now. If nobody else comes in, you'll just have me all to yourself. And we'll just have the whole consultation slash session slash whatever. I, I guess I will just share. I thank you so much for my birthday. Shout out. It was completely awesome and very, very relaxing. I was able to just really take a load off for a while. Hubby really, really ended it and you'll call me. You're funny. Yeah, it was a great birthday celebration. Like I said, I got a lot of rest. So I'm very well rested. However, today, coming back to work, no one took care of the paperwork. No one took care of the extra work that wasn't done while I was gone. And so today has been probably the most busiest day in quite a while. But I am still excited to be here. I see that more people have come in. As you're coming in, just say hello, just wave at me, just tell me who you are. Let's just say hello to each other while we're in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, Marlon, and give those 15 seconds real fast so that you can like it and share it. And I don't think you need to hit the notification because you were like the first one in here, but I always do it. And so I will go ahead and give that like 15 seconds real quick, and then we will get straight to it then. You could go. All righty. So let's just get straight to it then. Last week we discussed acceptance. What did you think about that, Marlon? I guess it's just you and I. We talked about acceptance and what it wasn't. And I know that the common idea or definition of acceptance means that we agree with it. It means that for a lot of people that because I accept something, I agree with it. And I kind of, I did my best to try to make a clarification of that word acceptance. And that acceptance is more of an acknowledgement. My buddy came in and she helped me out with that. That it's more like an acknowledgement. It's saying, okay, hey, this thing exists. This thing, I see you. I'm giving you attention long enough for me to decide what to do with what I see. And when you do that, you give yourself time to decide what you believe about this particular topic or this particular person or this particular circumstance, this particular situation. So, you said accepting it is how you start to deal with it. Oh, that's good. That was a good takeaway. That's an excellent takeaway. And what I wanted to discuss tonight is really we have acceptance and then you have what your belief system is. So for a lot of people, especially Christians, those who believe that accepting something means taking ownership of it. This is really, really hard to deal with because we say, well, I don't accept that. I don't accept what the doctor says. I don't accept poverty. I don't accept generational curses. I don't accept. And I understand it when it's used in that context. In the context that I'm speaking of it, though, or however, is accepting something by giving attention to it. Now, the next step after you have accepted it is, what do you believe about it now? So I gave the analogy of if you say, okay, there's a particular lifestyle. Let's say that one of your children or someone close to you reveals that they have a different lifestyle than what you agree with, right? To accept that is to simply say, okay, I see where you're coming from. I see what it is that you believe, and I accept that that's your position. I acknowledge it. I see it. I accept it because it is what you're telling me that it is. It's not a judgment on it. It's not a saying that it's right or that it's wrong. I just see it. I hear what you're saying to me. I see it. So now at this point, I have to now step outside of it and decide what I believe about it. So my belief now will interpret for me how I handle it. And that's the part that I wanted to give clarification about today was, what do you believe about what you now see? What's happening on the outside of the situation? So let's take, I don't know, you get a bad report from the doctor. You hear it. You say, okay, this is what it is. Now let's just say that it's because you're overweight and you now have diabetes or you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, whatever that is. Now you can choose to say, I don't accept that. That's not true. I don't accept it, and not deal with it. In the sense that we also use things when someone says that you have cancer and you say, I don't accept it. So you can say that. Another option is to say, okay, I acknowledge it. I acknowledge that perhaps I need to start eating a little bit better. So you step outside of it and you say, okay, I'm borderline diabetic, or they say I might have type 1 or type 2, or my cholesterol is too high, or my whatever it is. You get the information, you acknowledge it, Okay, I can see that. I see what the test results say. Okay, yes, okay, I see that where this is high, this is okay, it's a little bit. I see that. Then you step outside of it. Once you step outside of it, now you can look at it for what it is. You then decide what you believe about what you just accepted. Do I believe that I am now going to be on insulin? Do I believe that because you've told me that I have high blood pressure, I'm going to now need medication? Do I believe it's the power? Now, let's just look at the belief in, what did you say, Mark? Oh, it just happened. Wow. So looking at, so this is perfect. Okay. So looking at what the report said, right? You look at it, and now what is now in effect is the belief, the power that's attached to what you believe, because your belief system carries power. It's the authority, it's the power that we get when we believe something. That's why they say if you can see it, you can achieve it, because there's a power that comes when you believe something. So when we're talking about acceptance and we're talking about a belief system, if you're just now joining us, we're still talking about acceptance, but we're also kind of differentiating between acceptance and belief, and how they kind of interact with one another. So if you're accepting something, then the belief or the power that you attach to that thing that you just accepted is what makes the agreement. So does that make sense? I mean, if it makes sense, then give me a thumbs up. Hey, Leonard, give me a thumbs up. It's the power that you give to what you accept that brings the agreement. So again, we're talking about high blood pressure. We're talking about, this is just an example that we were talking about, high blood pressure, diabetes, whatever it is that you've been given, whatever it is that came and said, hey, this is the report. Now, when you step outside of it, which means giving yourself the opportunity to examine it, I acknowledge it. I see the report. I see the numbers. Now, do I believe that the numbers on that paper, do I believe that the test is now going to have the power to make me a diabetic? I'm now a diabetic because the paperwork says so. I believe what the paperwork says. So now we've done something else. We've taken the next step. Not only have we acknowledged it, but we've now weighed the costs, right? And we've come to a balanced solution. This is what I believe based on what I see. Or you can step outside of it and look at it and say, okay, I can see that and I can see how it got like that, because I've been eating a lot of this, a lot of that, or I haven't been drinking enough. I haven't been doing this. I haven't been exercising. I've been doing, so so what you're doing is you stepped outside of it and gave yourself the time to weigh the costs. And you're now balancing it out. You're saying, okay, yeah, I can see that. Okay, well, okay. Now, what do I believe now? Now it's a belief system that's involved. Now, what do I believe about what I just saw, what I just acknowledged, what I just accepted existed? Because now that you've accepted that there's something going on inside of your body, not unto death, not immediately diabetes, even if you say you have type 1, you have type 2, your belief can now decide which way you're going to go. What do you believe? Whose report do you believe? So you say to yourself, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I don't believe I have type 1 diabetes. I believe I've been eating horribly. I believe that I have not been exercising like I should. So this is what I'm going to do with the information I acknowledged, the information I accepted was or is, Now I get to choose. This is where our gifting, this is what separates us from animal and plants and all the other things that God created. Now we say, now I can choose. I get to choose what I'm going to do with what I see. What do I believe about myself? I believe I have the ability to change my diet. I believe that my mind can now start looking at food differently. I can teach myself, train myself to get up in the morning, walk. I can train myself the same way I train myself to like fattening foods, greasy foods, whatever it was that built up to high blood pressure, cholesterol, and all the other things. I can train myself to now like less salt. I can train my taste buds to not have a desire for meat. I can train my body to want to walk so many miles a day. That is where the belief comes in, connects with what you accepted, and now you agree. If that makes sense, give me a thumbs up. If you have questions, there's not too many of us in here tonight for whatever reason. It's your time. So if you have questions, just drop it in the comment box, because you kind of have me right now. And we have the ability to dialogue. If you're just joining us, don't be shy. Just say hello. Oh, hi, honey bun. Okay. So just, drop a question if you have a question. So Marlon, if you're not too shy to share, you said you had just gotten some news. I think this is a great example of what we accepting something opposed to believing something, and allowing that to attach itself to you. Hey, Stacy. So it is about a belief system, and your belief system. I didn't want that to get, it's the exact situation. Okay. Okay. All right. Awesome. So what are you choosing? I saw that, you posted something about, hey, Yoli, type 2 diabetic. Okay, absolutely. Because now it's where the belief system taps in. The belief system has to now tap in. We acknowledge it by saying, okay, I see that. I see it. Okay. Now you get to dissect it. So the dissection part comes where you step outside of it and you allow the emotion of it to stay attached to the situation. Sometimes we get news, sometimes we get medical news, sometimes we get news about our family members, our children, our spouses. We get news about from our bosses, our employers. We get these things that cause our emotions to respond because we're emotional. And so our emotions get all interacted and it gets all entangled. And that is why we learn to step outside of it, because you have to disconnect long enough for your emotions to get stable. Type 2 diabetes. Oh my God. The first thing, I don't know what the first thing you thought of, Marlon, but I know that diabetes runs in my family. And so it's like the first thing I think, I don't know which one's type 1 or type 2, but okay, needle injections, insulin, and I don't know if that's where your mind went automatically, like, oh my God, I know people who have had that scare. Myself, I went to the doctor before and they told me that I was borderline diabetic. And my first reaction was, don't put it on me, Ricky Bobby. That was my first reaction. Nope. And I stepped outside of myself I did in the doctor's office. I said, nah, okay, give me a minute. I said, what? I started asking questions. Why do you say I am? They said, well, I'm sorry, let me finish my question. I said, why do you say I'm borderline diabetic? And they said, well, when you took the test, your sugar levels are high, this. And I said, okay. I said, so let me think about this. And I began to reflect on all the things I had been eating. And as I started thinking about it, I was like, ooh. I said, perhaps the Hershey's, the Reese's peanut butter cups, because I binge eat sweets sometimes, and it's just ridiculous. And I started thinking, and at the time, I had been consuming so much sugar. I said, wow, I can see that. Okay. So I told the doctor, because after I stepped outside of it, I separated myself from the emotion of it, because I have family members that have diabetes. And so I had to disconnect myself from the emotion of it. And I said, okay, all I can take right now are facts. So I was imbalanced because all I could think was logic. Because the emotion, I had to suppress it because my emotions were naturally like, oh my God. So I suppressed the emotion of it and just thought logical. Then after I got all the facts, then I brought the emotion back into it. And because my emotion is necessary. The emotional part of it was necessary because my emotions is part of my will. My emotions are part of my passion. It's part of what I'm going to put into it in order to catapult my decision. So I brought my emotions back into it. I said, girl, get yourself under control. You're out of control. It's not unto death. It does not mean I'm going to be diabetic. I'm not. So while I was outside of myself, I became balanced, and then my belief system kicked in. What do I know about myself? What do I know about my mind? What do I know about my body? What do I know about my will? What do I know about me? And the first thing that came to my mind is I don't do medicine like that. I don't do pills. I don't do needles. I started going into what I knew about me, not the paperwork, not what the doctor said. What I knew about me. I'm not doing that. And then I said to myself, I have the ability to change whatever I created. And so I told the doctor, this is all going on in my head, right? It's all going on in my head while the doctor's sitting across from me. And I said, so what do I have to do to curb it? I said, I know it's just the sugar. I've just been intaking way too much sugar. I've been, and then I had got on this whole cherry Pepsi thing, and it was just really bad. And I knew what was happening on the inside of my body. And then I made a decision. I will not be diabetic. That's not my story. I am going to reverse it, reversing the ratio. Everything I put in, I'm taking out by any means necessary. And later on, I went back, got retested. My sugar levels was fine, not pre-diabetic. Now, that may not be everybody's story. I understand that. But the method is the same. You step outside of it, detach from it for a moment. Remember how I talked about putting something on the shelf? Just long enough to think before coming into agreement, before letting your belief system believe what's on paper, before you let your belief system believe what you're hearing, before you let your belief system believe in what you see, touch, feel, hear, taste, because we believe what we see. Acceptance is just knowing something is, stepping outside of it, looking at what you believe and then making an agreement for dot, 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 dot. Does that make sense? Let's see, Marlon, I was talking to you. I'm going to scroll really fast. All right, you said now you know you got to do what you've been saying you need to do. Now, I'm going to, because I have it, Stacy, okay, so she says she's type 1 diabetic. So I am going to step out there on the limb. I'm balanced on that limb because I know this. I've heard, and I have not seen it firsthand, but I have heard people tell me. I've had people tell me, as you know, I'm vegan. I am not trying to recruit. I am not. But I have been told that there have been people who had gotten diagnosed with type 1, type 2 diabetes who went vegan and it was gone. One guy was already on insulin and went vegan, cut out the meat, replaced it with plant-based foods, and the diabetes is gone. Now, this is what I'm saying. What do you believe? What do you believe? What do you know about yourself, about your will? What do you know about you? I believe that we have all been given the power to this right here. There is nothing that we do that does not happen here first. So rather it's losing weight, changing your diet, getting exercise, changing how we think about food. Everything that's good to us is not good for us. And sometimes we do have to get that paper, so we can acknowledge what's going on the inside of us. Then choose what we're going to do about it. So it's excuse me. So it's something that has to be practiced. It's something that has to be practiced. When you're looking at, let me back up. Marlon said his first reaction was, okay, now I got to do what I have been saying I need to do. So in that, you look at the will, the will, what you needed to be doing all along. Change the mindset. Begin to retrain what you believed in the beginning to be what you now know to be a new truth. Okay, so let me say this. One of the questions is, how do you change the way how do you change your belief system? Okay. I see that question, Stacy, and I'll get to that as well. So changing your belief system is allowing yourself to see a new truth. It's the perhaps, it's the maybe. Okay. So in this case, where we're talking about health, as we're talking about different diagnoses and just the physical body. Okay. There's some things that we believe as a truth. Food's not good unless it's seasoned. If we don't have all the Lori products, I'm talking about seasoning salt, garlic salt, regular table salt, the pepper, the paprika, all of these seasonings, these salts, we have believed, this is a belief system, that if it's not seasoned with all of that, it's not good. If you don't have, if it's not hot enough, if it doesn't have hot sauce, if it doesn't have it, we have trained our minds and our bodies to accept a certain taste And if it doesn't have that taste, then it's not good. So this particular belief system is what I'm talking about, your belief in food. This is what we're talking about right now. Your belief system says you need salt. If I remember when I got married and I made Kool-Aid for the first time, to me, it was fine. It said, I think it's like, I haven't made Kool-Aid in so long, but I think it's like 1 cup of Kool-Aid per gallon or something like that. Tastes fine to me. When I made it, like the whole house was like, who made the Kool-Aid? Because apparently you don't follow the directions on the Kool-Aid packet. You add enough sugar to coat about this much at the bottom of Kool-Aid pitcher. And you add the water, and there's like a whole method to it. And I was floored because I thought it tastes fine to me. But my belief system of what tastes good was different than their belief system of what was taste good. I was forbidden to make Kool-Aid anymore because apparently you need a lot of sugar in Kool-Aid. Okay. So your belief system about food, because you're black, I'm black, I'm supposed to eat fried food. It's a belief system that fried foods accompany African Americans, and that fried food needs to be seasoned heavily and then fried. And so when you're looking at your belief system in food, you have to allow yourself to have a new truth. So my sister switched over to cooking with only herbs. When I first began to taste her food, I was like, yeah, no, sis, because she got diagnosed high blood pressure. So she took away the salt, she took away a lot of the seasoning, and she only was cooking with herbs. I was like, no. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it. But as I began to implement parsley, thyme, rosemary, I began to put chives and things into my food. I was like, whoa, you don't really need a lot of the signature seasonings. And so what happened is my belief system was challenged. And as I began to see that it was a perhaps, a maybe, and I began to cook with these things and tweaking it here and there, instead of doing salt, I started doing powders, and then from powders into herbs. And so it began to change. My belief system regarding food began to change. My belief system in seasonings began to change. And then, thus, my cooking style began to change. And so if there was something that is in your belief system that this is how food has to be cooked, this is what I know how to cook. Certain dishes that we say are from different ethnic groups, so we don't cook that, we don't eat that. You challenge your belief system. You change your belief system by challenging your belief system. This don't have it don't care. Your body don't care what you feed it. Your body don't care what you do with it. Your body don't care. Your body will do whatever you tell it to do. It will go wherever you tell it to go. So it's here. Once you get it here, and then you say, this is good. This is going to help change my lifestyle. This is going to give me more life. This is going to make me healthy. As you begin to change that, then your belief system begins to change. So I hope that answered your question. How do you change your belief system? You change it by challenging it. And then you start working a little bit at a little bit at a time until you say, okay, yeah, this can work. This can work. And then go fully into it. And now before you know it, you'll have a whole new belief system. Did that work? I hope so. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, so Stacey, you asked how long have I been vegan? So this is always funny because at first I was vegetarian, and I would go back and forth, back and forth. Marlon's wife was like, "Are you eating a chicken wing?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I just eat what I want to eat, you know." And so, but I have been a true bona fide vegan for about 3 years, or more at this point. Um, let's see. I'm not vegan, but I have a cousin that was a diabetic, went totally vegan. So let's see. This is what Leonard said. I'm not vegan, but I have a cousin that was a diabetic, went totally vegan, and is no longer a diabetic. So I've seen someone in my family where I saw it happen. Yes. So there it is, guys. I'm not making things up to try to change or sway. Like I said, I'm not trying to get you to become vegan, but your diet makes all the difference. And I really don't know how we're on this topic tonight, but hey, we're going to just flow with it. Okay. Your diet makes all the difference. I know someone that just tried vegan for a little while, and within like that first month lost like 20 pounds. It is definitely doable. Okay. So your belief system can make, or does make all the difference in what you accept and what you don't accept. The thing is that once you come into agreement, once your belief in what you acknowledge comes into an agreement, that's where the power to be effective in your life takes place. So if you accept that this particular thing works, and then you agree with it, then you've given it power to do whatever you agree that it's going to do. So right now, with us talking about health, what are you giving power to? What have you accepted? What have you come into agreement with? What have you been practicing because they say? One of the things that that I have noticed that has been killing us, we've been killing ourselves, is when we take ownership of an illness. When we say, my diabetes, my high blood pressure, so now staying in focus of what we're talking about. This person took a test. They were told they had high blood pressure. They either stepped outside of themselves or they did not, but they accepted it as truth, came into agreement with it, and now they're inseparable. You're inseparable. This is now your truth. And so everything you do, everything this individual does, is from a person with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 1, type 2, whatever it is. Now, this I did see, and I do want to share this with you guys. I had 2 people both get diagnosed with terminal cancer. One said, "Oh my God, I'm going to die," and began making arrangements for their death. The other said, "I don't have that." The doctor said, "Yes, you do. This is the paperwork. I don't have that." This individual, hair started coming out. This individual was extremely sick. She acknowledged it. Okay. She acknowledged it. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit of chemo. Yes. I'm going to change my eating. Everything 180-degree turn. Began eating for life. Not living to eat, but eating to live. Literally. Began eating, exercising, sick as a dog. Every time this individual would go back to the doctor, she said, I do not have cancer. They said, okay. It became like this little joke in the doctor's office. Okay, here's the lady that doesn't have cancer, but clearly has cancer, and refused it. Would not let you visit her. If you came to visit her and you looked sad, she would put you out immediately. She was playing no games. You couldn't say she had cancer. You couldn't talk about the cancer. Now, watch her steps though. Acknowledged it. Yes, I see this. It wasn't like a blind denial. She wasn't in denial that it existed. She removed the power it had to overtake her. What did she do? She tapped into what she knew about herself. She said, this is not unto death. That's not my story. I'm not dying of this. This will not attach itself to me. I will not come into agreement with it. I refuse to come into agreement with it. But I acknowledge it. So I'm going to change my diet. I'm going to start exercising. She started praying over herself. And she refused to come into agreement with it. So what happened? There was no power. Her belief system said no. It said no. So there's a difference. And that's what I'm trying to accomplish tonight, is that there is an acceptance and there's a belief system about what you acknowledge. What comes together is up to you. That's your choice. Now, these two individuals, one is no longer with us. And the other one is still here. I'll let you decide. You can guess which one is still with us. She refused the power. She said, no, you will not have power to dominate over my body, over my blood cells, no. I have been given authority over this. Her belief system said, not so. So what you accept does not have to be an agreement. It's an acknowledgement. We acknowledge that there's a problem. We acknowledge something's wrong. We acknowledge that there is something that needs to be changed on the inside of us so we can thrive, so that suffering is reduced. Because if you're sick, you are suffering. And the idea is not to suffer, but to decrease suffering every single day, every moment, every choice, every decision is to decrease suffering. Should I eat this? No. Is it going to increase suffering or decrease suffering? Should I get up this morning? Should I take them steps? Should I park that close to the grocery store? Or should I park far away so I can get them extra steps in? Or circling and waiting for that parking spot that's right in front of the door? Or do I park farther away so that I can get those extra steps in? What is it? What are we doing? What are we doing with our body? What are we doing with our minds? It's about what we are accepting and what we are believing and coming into agreement with. Okay, let's see. Leonard, we're talking lifestyle. I think this is an awesome topic. with talking about, for some of us, life or death. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is, like I said, the people that's in today, because usually we have more viewers, and the people that's in today, this is for you. This is for you. So talk to me if it's something you want to know. If I don't, I may have the answers, I may not, but I'm good at looking. I'm great at research. It is. It's your health. It's your wellness. It's like Leonard said. For some, it's life or death. It's life or death. And I'll take it even a step further, or even if this is what he meant, I don't know. But it doesn't even have to be a physical, literal death. It could be living a miserable life full of suffering. Can't go where everybody else goes, or even where you want to go. Can't do what you want to do. Can't function the way you want to function, because you've come into agreement with something that's unto death, unto misery. You've connected with misery. You've connected with these things that is robbing you of your peace, of your joy, of being able to do and to live your life fully, in the sense that you were given to do. So we're talking, we got to now try to figure out how to change this belief system, what we have believed it's so long that it's ended in some terrible or some very unfortunate circumstances that we now find ourselves living in. Okay. Let's see. Fear sometimes can be debilitating. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. You're absolutely right. Getting into a new belief system can be fearful. We're going to go back. I would like to go back into a couple of weeks ago when we discussed mirror, mirror on the wall. And I will encourage you guys to go back to that and read and watch that one again. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the of them all? Sometimes when we're trying to change our belief system in something, we're reminded of every failure. We're reminded of every time we tried. We're reminded of how hard it was. We were reminded of how painful exercising was. We're reminded of how hungry we got in the middle of the night. We're reminded of how we lost it all and then gained it plus some. We're reminded of all of the things that would stagnate us, that would hold us, that pushes us down, that compresses us so that we can't breathe, so that we can't see clearly in that mirror, so that we can't look clearly in that mirror and says, I don't care how many times I failed. I don't care how many times I've tried this. I don't care how much weight I've regained. I don't care about that. This is life or death. This is now. It's the quality of my life. I still have, as long as breathing, I still have the ability to choose. So if I choose one meal a day, that's healthy. If I choose to walk one time this week, it's healthy. If I choose to get a vegan burger instead of a beef burger, it's healthy. If I say no more soda, only water, it's healthy. If I pick up a soda instead of a water, okay, not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Tell yourself, I drank a soda. Let me go ahead and hit 3 cups of water now. No more soda. No more soda. Bad flesh. No more soda. Triple up on your water. We don't stay there, because then we start rehearsing the wrong thing. And remember, we're reversing the ratio. So Even if you've tried, even if you've tried and you didn't succeed the first time, it's okay. It's okay. Rehearse it in the mirror. Today, you didn't do too good. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have had that chili and the cheese on top of the fries, and you probably shouldn't have had the fries. You didn't need, or okay, you just didn't do good today. So tomorrow you're going to do better. So what you're going to do, you're going to get up early, you're going to make a lunch, and you're going to take a lunch to work tomorrow. You reversing the ratio. You're switching the mind. You're changing your belief system to I tried, I can't, to I can and I will. Switching the belief system. I see what the problem is. Okay. I accept it. I step outside of myself. I look at it and I say, I believe I can do better. I believe I can do better. And even if you eat one horrible meal, but two good meals, and you have never eaten two good meals, you're winning. You're still winning. So rock that. You're still winning. Learn to celebrate the W's. Sometimes we get so caught up in all the things that we didn't do. We get so caught up with every mistake, every setback, every failure that we forget all the W's that we've accumulated throughout the day. Okay, you ate one horrible thing. Okay, you didn't exercise today, but did you drink water? Okay, did you eat any leafy greens? Did you eat any vegetables? Did you consume any sugar that wasn't table sugar? These things, they're W's, and you're racking them up. But because you're the one error or the one mistake that you've made, you make it so big. Remember, I say this all the time, whatever you focus on becomes bigger. So focus on the W's. Focus on the wins, because the more attention you give to the wins, the more you're going to start winning. It's just like, imagine a child, and you have a child, and okay, because you guys also know that I am a daycare provider. I have a classroom full of children, and they're all making noise. They're all running around, and there's one child sitting still. And I say, good job. Look at you. Look at how I love how Stacy is sitting quietly, and she has her hands folded and she's waiting patiently for me. Thank you, Stacy. I gave attention to one behavior, and I begin to focus on that one behavior. And you're sitting straight up in your chair, and oh my gosh, you're not swinging your feet. You're focused. Look at how you're making eye contact with me. I know you're paying it. I'm just focused on her. I have said nothing to these other children that's running around and running amok. But the more I focus on that one behavior, the bigger that behavior gets. She gets bored tight. She sitting, smiling, eye contact. Then another person sits down, and before long, every child in the room is sitting down, ready hands, ready feet, ready to go. I said nothing to the other ones. I didn't mention one negative behavior. All I did was give attention to the positive behavior. And by giving attention to that, it began to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is what I want you to do this week. I want you to focus on your W's. Focus on your wins. And begin to, just over exaggerate it. Post it on your timeline. I had 4 cups of water today. I don't care. Let people say 4 cups. Aren't you supposed to drink 8? Halfway there. Post it. Talk about it. Tell people I'm drinking more water. Yeah, I'm drinking more water. They have an app for that. Download the app. It reminds you all the time to drink water. Okay. Even if you just, hey, you know what? I'm going to walk to the corner store instead of driving. I walked to the store today. Celebrate those W's. There are no small W's. A win is a win. I take all my W's. Ask anybody who knows me. I'm taking all my W's. So I want you guys to do that. That's going to be your homework. Somehow I didn't give homework last week. So this week, make sure that you are giving yourself W's. And I want to hear about them, guys. Please, please, please. I ask this all the time, and rarely do I get the feedback throughout the week. Just throw it in this chat. The chat stays live. I go back. I get notifications when I get new chats, new comments in the chat. Just say, hey, Omara, drunk some water today. Hey, Omara, I took a walk today. Hey, Omara, I did some sit-ups today. I did some, I didn't put a lot of sugar in my coffee. Hey, Darla. Just say, hey, I did this today. Just put it, little things. I don't care how little they look. The wins is what we're going for. Not how big the gesture, but that it's a win. It's a win. If this is life or death, start living. Get your energy back. Get your mojo back. Retake your health. Retake those healthy cells. Start reproducing those healthy cells. Start getting those red blood cells moving again. Start walking. Start, I don't know, whatever it is that you know you're supposed to do, start doing it because you can. And I know that you can. Let me see. I'm going to put this up here. Do what you know you've been saying you need to do. Just do it. You can do it. There's nothing bigger than you. You were created to dominate. And if there's anything dominating you, it's out of order. It's out of line. Step outside of yourself, figure out where it came from, tap into what you believe about yourself, tap into what you know about the one that's higher than yourself. If you don't believe you have anything, tap into that and then come into agreement with it. Reverse the ratio, develop a new way of thinking, a new belief system, and start winning. You can do it. I know you can. I know you can. I know you can. All right, guys. If today you heard anything that blessed you, that helped you, please just let me know. Throw it in the comments. If you said, hey, I need to talk to you one-on-one, always know that you can reach me on my website, omaralee.com. If not on there, you can always call my number. It should be down here somewhere, 951-5678-117. I'm always on Instagram. I'm always in this room every Monday on My Mindy Monday. Again, if you are watching this and you say, hey, I want to be on your show. I want to talk about some things that I've been going through. I want to talk about how you've helped me, or I just have the same interests as you do. You don't have to be a life coach. You don't have to be a therapist. You can just be you. That's what this whole thing is about. It's about us learning together, growing together, iron sharpening iron, so that we're all thriving and we're reducing suffering. Hit me up in the comments or call me or go on my website, email me, but just say, hey, I want to be on the show and I would love to have you. Teray is not here today, as you guys probably have noticed, but he will be back in 2 weeks to grace us with his lovely self. If there's anything else that you need, let me know. Let me see as I am getting ready to log off. I don't want to miss anybody. If I did miss you, please forgive me. Um, I don't always see everybody that's in the room, but I do thank you, as always, for sharing with me, for being transparent, for allowing me to speak into your life. Please, please, whatever it is, it perhaps, just maybe, a lot happens in the maybe. This is my Mindy Monday, hoping to make this your best day of the week. You're gonna have a good week. And why is it gonna be a good week? You're gonna make it a good week. Until next week, I love you guys, and I will see you then. Have a good one, guys.